Sup. Good morning, girl. Good morning, Arkansas. Fam. What's up, YouTube? What's happening with everybody that's out there in the world today?
More fuel for Putin's grievance with the U.S. The Iraq War. Regime change at the hands of the Bush administration.
The Iraq War was absolutely a turning point and a very significant moment of rupture in the relationship between Putin and President Bush.
For Putin, echoes of the final days of the Soviet Union.
Tyrant is fallen, and Iraq is free. And everywhere freedom stirs, that tyrant's fear.
Adventure like the Iraq War shows that look, they'll just come in and they'll just take out a government and think nothing of it. And that's not the way he wanted the world to work.
And it is both our responsibility and our privilege to fight freedom's fight.
How many
Called it the Freedom Agenda, a plan to export American.
presidents did Putin really go through? Starting with Reagan, when Reagan told him to Gorbachev tear the wall down. Putin was getting ready to take over as the leader of Russia at the moment. And with that being said, he thought everybody would be out to what he was working with during the reign of Gorbachev. And which is a good thing and a bad thing altogether. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn your notification bells on. Hit the like button. Share it. As we go into you, me, the world, and what Putin is doing. And he is not scared at all to do what he set out to do. And that is not nowhere near good for the American people. That's not good, no which way or how you can put it. And simple as that, it's going to go all the way back to what it came down to since the Cold War. Are we preparing for the one world government, the new world order? Or are we getting ready to witness what the Bible speaks of about the second coming of Christ. And with that being said, with that being said, as they getting ready to prepare another talk with what's going on with Ukraine, how's we gonna see the outcome of this? Smoking dabs this early in the morning will give you the coffee. But nevertheless, let's hear what commentators got to say.
Ratcheting up the conflict.
See, this is when Bush went to talk to Putin and noticed that Bush looking kind of concerned, worried that Putin ain't gonna act right. But is principalities behind the scene, celestial beings, are they setting this in motion where it's getting ready to set up the last days of mankind? Or or what? And I might wake up to witness this here moment in time. Let's see what Bush has to say about all this.
Encouraging Georgia and Ukraine, two former Soviet republics, to join NATO.
We must make clear that NATO welcomes the aspirations of Georgia and Ukraine to membership in NATO.
See, Bush tried to get them to join Ukraine. Boy, dabs early in the morning is lingering. I wish the Sarge wake and bake moment was still going around. But nevertheless, with Mount 10 High Ready, what's up to you? More power to you. Sorry that you stopped the show because people act like they didn't want to network and promote and, network out of friendship. I always know it take a little money to do it, but when you're underground, you're supposed to work together just to get the message across for one another, But we got to think about it. It's still as it is. Let's see. And like I was saying, President Bush was trying to get Georgia and Ukraine part of NATO back in 2000. I think that was 8 or something like that, to keep this from happening. But the people didn't let them in. So let's get on to see what Bush have to say about Putin.
The Russians were obviously very, very concerned that the Bush administration was moving towards allowing both Georgia and Ukraine to get into NATO, which was for them a huge red line.
Putin rushed to Bucharest to confront Bush.
There's this amazing moment. Putin shows up early and crashes the dinner with the NATO members. He has basically shown up as the skunk in the garden and challenging them for what they've done.
In a meeting later, Putin was adamant to Bush, especially Ukraine, were in his sphere of influence.
He leaned over and said, Ukraine is not a real country. He had no respect for the sovereignty of the Ukrainian people. We should have seen it earlier. Maybe we didn't want to see it, but it was clear if we wanted to see it, the direction that President Putin was going.
Putin made it clear he wouldn't accept Bush's plan for Georgia and Ukraine.
It basically waved the red flag in front of the bull. It was extremely provocative for Russia. It provoked Russia and made Russia angry.
Just 4 months later, Putin attacked Georgia.
Russian troops backed by tanks and armored.
The Russians were prepared and perhaps even eager for a conflict with Georgia.
There appeared to be little to stop.
And part of that was motivated by, we're going to show the Georgians that getting too close to NATO has a price.
Russian planes again bombing Jordan.
Putin seized and held nearly 5,000 square miles of Georgian territory.
Another town is burning. More civilians have been killed.
From Putin's point of view, this wasn't just about Georgia.
Fierce battle broke out today on the fringe.
This was about Ukraine. This was about what he saw to be the West's interest in, eventual expansion of NATO.
Now, see, Putin wasn't really messed up about anything. He was just worried that the West wanted some part in Ukraine, because Ukraine is the place where a lot of stuff going on, and they want to be a free people, even though Ukrainians spoke Russian, which is supposed to be part of the USSR, in which that is one of the superpowers. When you look at it, it's gonna be nations up against nations, and that is not really stabilized. But let's continue on witnessing what is going on right now in society. Now, remember, this is 2008.
Eventually to include Ukraine and Georgia.
Some of those Georgian soldiers were saying, where is the United States?
As the war broke out, Vladimir Putin and George W. Bush happened to be at the Olympics in Beijing.
Bush finds himself at the Olympics sitting in the same row as Putin. He has his wife Laura and the king of Cambodia move aside so he can sit next to Putin and talk about it. But he knows the cameras are on. So he's trying not to make it a big visible confrontation. But he's telling Putin, what are you doing here? This is not right. You can't be doing this. And Putin is basically telling him to butt out.
A president who had looked into Putin's soul and now reached a different conclusion about just who Vladimir Putin was.
I remember the president saying, I don't know how, but we've lost him. Putin's going in a different direction. And there was little that the administration, President Bush's mind can do to put Putin back on that course.
Nearing the end of his presidency, Bush would leave the increasing conflict with Putin to his successor.
They let Vladimir Putin arguably get away with it in Georgia. One message that Putin clearly takes from that in hindsight is that he is able to use the military as a tool of achieving his political ends outside the borders of Russia, and that the West will complain and lecture, but basically will let him get away with it. That's a terrible message, and I think it is the prologue for the Ukraine disaster.
All Americans can celebrate red or blue, black or white. First African American president of the United States. President Obama sets a landing Russia.
Less than a year later, Vladimir Putin would meet newly elected Barack Obama face to face.
Obama. Now, a black person that came into power now. And are Putin gonna be like the rest, shocked at the United States electing a black person as president of the United States of America? Probably so. No telling about it. And simple as that, let's see what Barack Obama has to say about Putin.
Sizing up his third American president.
I remember their first meeting in July of 2009 at Putin's Dodge just outside Moscow. They're much different personalities. President Obama's initial question, about 10 seconds, led to a 45-minute, monologue by Putin.
Putin is extraordinarily calm, matter of fact. Doesn't get ruffled. He may say hard things, but he says them in a very calm, almost matter of fact way. Unfortunately, President Putin simply speaks mistruth after mistruth and tries to misinform, but he does it as easily as he breathes.
Putin obviously did not respect him. Putin looked at the United States, and it surprised him that a black
Putin did not respect Obama. Did not respect Obama. Was it because of his skin color, or he thought he was better than Obama? I don't know, but we're gonna move on. We're gonna listen to what Obama had to say.
man would be elected president of the United States. I think that was a surprise to him. And I think there well could be just an element of flat out racism that he somehow thought Obama was not his equal. That Obama did not deserve to be treated as his.
So he thought Obama was not his equal. So his equal as in being a leader of a nation, a country. As his equal as a man, or what? So he took it down. So now he getting more and more aggression to bring us up to the point of no return. And Obama, you can see Obama and what Obama is doing right now. He is witness. Ain't nothing we can do to stop this character, this infidel, this tyrant, this dictator, this one to rule the world man. So let's see.
Leaving Russia, the new president had another way to deal with the problem of Vladimir Putin.
Gave him an hour-long lecture, and I don't think Obama likes to be lectured. That was a real clash of the egos there.
Obama has gotten to Moscow, and Putin is not found, and Putin is still in charge.
He gave the Putin file to his vice president, Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, uh-oh.
His job as vice president was to do the things that Obama didn't want to do, and that does include the subject of Russia. And here's Joe Biden, who's been talking about Russian issues since 1973.
Uh-oh,
All right,
Joe Biden.
This is your issue.
A senator over 4 decades and chair of the former.
A senator over 4 decades, Joe Biden. And chair of the Foreign Relations Committee. As we get on into it, and so Obama left it up to Joe Biden, and it wasn't working. As we get on down to let's go on down to where it gets to Donald J. Trump. Right here. I go right here to where down to Donald J. Trump. Let's see what they got to say.
Sorry, this is just not a top priority.
Putin takes a lot from Ukraine when he's able to invade a country, and our reaction is minimal, right? And so, of course, he takes a lesson from that. The lesson he takes from that is this kind of thing can work if we did it properly. And that's not the message that we really want to be sending at the time.
Look into his eyes.
16 presidential race is underway.
Having tested the United States resolve, Putin would go even further,
Candidates are once again found out
striking at the heart of American democracy,
candidates make a final push to shore
interfering in the 2016 presidential election.
There's two goals there: discredit our election and also to discredit the presidency, to neutralize the United States as an adversary, to really tarnish US leadership as the leader of the democratic world, the free world, the West.
Putin's attack was aimed at Washington, D.C. Hackers breaching Democratic Party computer servers, email leaks designed to undermine Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign.
This was the most aggressive, the most direct, and most assertive campaign that the Russians ever mounted in the history of our elections. And what characterized this were the variety and intelligent techniques that they employed.
Misinformation, fake users designed to look like Americans, trolls supporting the Kremlin, an army of automated bots on Twitter, and targeted advertisements on Facebook and Google, calculated to hurt Clinton and help her rival, Donald Trump.
View of Trump was a penchant for human rights and talking about wanting to have a more positive relationship with Russia. What's not to like Vladimir Putin? He's one of us.
Well, Donald Trump pulled off one of the biggest political upsets in America.
On election night, a victory for Trump and for Putin.
In a stunning upset, Donald Trump is elected the 45th president.
Donald Trump shocking the nation and the world.
President Putin called me up very nicely to congratulate me on the win of the election.
From Putin's point of view, he won. Not only did the candidate he favored come out on top, he has disrupted Americans' faith in their own democracy. So that we're all turning on each other and we're busy fighting with each other. And in his mind, hopefully too distracted to pose a threat to him on the world stage.
President Trump's Helsinki summer president.
For the first time, Vladimir Putin would confront a new American president.
Urging the president to confront Putin about Russia's interference in the 2016 election.
Vladimir Putin is as clear-eyed and cold-blooded as any foreign leader I have ever seen. He knows exactly what he thinks Russia's national interest is.
President Donald J. Trump, the 45th President of the United States of America. Putin, no, he got it well taken care of. By bringing the United States into chaos amongst themselves, what better way to go? What better way to show his ability to set up his ultimate goal in trying to put Ukraine back part of the Soviet Union? Simple, people. Simple as that. For everything is going as he planned. so that he thinks. Let's go down into it.
And he pursues it unrelenting.
We get the first images of President Trump and Vladimir Putin sitting down next to each other. And President Trump is sitting up in his chair, looking as though he really, really wants to get something out of this meeting.
Well, first of all, Mr. President, I'd like to congratulate you on a really great World Cup.
And Vladimir Putin is kind of slumped in his chair, not smiling, doesn't look like he's having a good time.
That getting along with Russia is a good thing.
It was clear that in Trump, Putin had a very different American president.
Confronted with Donald Trump, this is like an open field in front of a football player carrying the ball. Trump never understood.
And did you hear Putin say, Putin know English, as he getting ready to show you that he know English. He know pretty much English that he need to know. He was able to tell Donald Trump, thank you, in English words. Thank you. And you heard it just as clear as day after Donald Trump congratulated him on the cup, the World Cup he won in the Olympics. Watch what Putin say. He gonna say thank you.
Really wants to get something out of it.
Well, first of all, Mr. President, I'd like to congratulate you on a really great World Cup.
And Vladimir Putin is kind of slumped in his
Watch
chair.
what Putin
smiling,
say.
doesn't look like he's
Thank
having
you.
a good time.
Clear as day.
Getting along with Russia is a good thing, not a bad thing.
It was clear that in Trump, Putin had a very different American president.
Confronted with Donald Trump, this is like an open field in front of a football player carrying the football. Trump
He said,
never
thank you,
understood.
sir. Thank you, sir. Now he got Donald Trump exactly where he want Donald Trump. Right there in the palm of his hands. He got United States where he want in the palm. Look at the handshake. He got United States right there where he want in the palm of his hand. Now he's sending everybody out the room, including the translators and everybody out the room. Cameras. Who's to say what happened behind them closed doors with only Donald J. Trump, our president of the United States of America at that moment in time, with Vladimir Putin, a tyrant, a dictator, an adversary of everything that is good and not under total control, just like Germany, the Nazis with Hitler, but in a calm, cool, collective, which he think peaceful way that he see fit. Now, they're getting ready to send everybody out of the room. Could they be talking cahoots that Donald Trump, that if he can win both elections, have Putin hands in the United States? You notice there wasn't no war in Ukraine like it is now. Simple as that. Now let's go into it. Watch it send everybody out the room.
Never understood that, never understood what the nature of Putin's game was. I think Putin thought Trump was a fool and easily manipulable.
The cameras were sent away.
See?
For 2 hours, they met privately, without any aids.
Without any aids. Without any aids. Translators. Any aids. Cameras. Any aids. Any bodyguards. Any security. Any aids. They sent everybody out the room to let you know Putin know English, but Donald Trump know Russian. Both know the same thing. Simple as that, people. Look, deceiving eyes. And as they said, inquiring minds want to know what went on behind them closed doors at that moment in time. Let's see what's next.
KGB's psychological profilers to hand him a dossier. He was able to read from it. He had a very good understanding of how he knew how to play Trump like a violin.
So he think.
Afterwards, when they faced the press, a shocking statement.
President Putin denied having anything to do with the election interference in 2016. Every U.S. intelligence agency has concluded that Russia did. My first question for you, sir, is who do you believe?
Who do you believe? That's the starkest possible way to put that question to the president.
People came to me, Dan Coates came to me, and some others. They said they think it's Russia. I have President Putin. He just said it's not Russia. I will say this: I don't see any reason why it would be.
I felt frozen in my chair, like everybody else in the room.
A different strategy as he go into the room and come out.
Couldn't believe it.
I will tell you that President Putin was extremely strong and powerful in his denial today, and what he did.
Everybody who was in the room with them just saw how masterfully Putin manipulated Trump. He saw him as hollow and stupid and easily manipulatable, and that he was just, the Russian expression that he was just making ropes at him and just braiding him like a braid.
Disgraceful way by the President of the United States as he stood by Vladimir Putin.
Back in Washington,
Concern continues to grow about what they said to each other behind closed doors.
they were calling it a bromance.
Been some sort of
Bromance. Bromance. Hand in hand. Same ideal. Ukraine ain't no country anyway. That's what they thinking. Ukraine ain't no country anyway. Ukraine is not a country anyway. Besides the point, Ukraine speak Russian anyway. So why not be part of Russia? Now, this is what's going on with Donald Trump and Putin. Now, let's continue on, and we're going to get on into what's going on right now.
As an arm of Putin's foreign policy in this period of time.
President Trump on the attack, asking what good is NATO? Once again, questioning the entire point to one of America's oldest alliances.
And Trump was echoing Putin's talking points on the key battleground of Ukraine.
The president told leaders that, well, Ukraine is one of the most corrupt countries in the world.
He would say Ukraine is a really corrupt country.
The president is saying that Crimea probably should belong to Russia because everyone there speaks Russian.
Crimea is Russian. Everybody there speaks Russian and wants to be part of Russia.
Donald Trump parroting Vladimir Putin, saying that Ukraine is not even a real country.
Where did he hear these things? He heard them from Putin, and he would just echo them.
Trump is actually helping Putin reconstitute the Soviet Union.
It was just too easy.
Trump suggested it's pointless to continue punishing Russia.
He's getting pretty much everything he needs from President Trump. He's getting smackdown of NATO, the humiliation of our best allies. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And so Putin was probably betting on a second term President Trump and hoping that he could get his way on many things, whether it's NATO, whether it's Ukraine, without using the instrument of war.
But Trump did not get a second term.
The Fox News decision desk can now project that former Vice President Joe Biden.
And with the new president.
Now, Trump didn't get a second term, Was it because the Democrats felt that they could do exactly what Trump did, what Russia and Trump did to win the seat? So the Democrats did what? Because Biden been in there 60 years, over 60 years. They didn't think Biden was capable. They doing what he decided to do as we get on into it, the moment of time. Before we do that, we would like to give shots out to some people. Any Deadly Deeds, Anything Goes. Pure Deadly Clan TV. Underground Wicked Radio. Extra Trip Rail Productions. Anything Goes. Deadly Deeds Networking and Promoting. We also like to give shots out to Doomsday Crypt. And YouTube Beginners. With that being said, let's get on with this caption till we get on into the next moment.
Joseph Robinette Biden.
Frankly, we did win this election. An escalation of the chaos in America that Putin helped foment.
The president showing no signs that he's prepared to concede this election.
Division.
This is a catastrophe. People are nervous.
Violence. Insurrection.
Nobody loved January 6th more than Russians did. Trump gave them 4 years, which was one big gift. But January 6th was like the wrapping, the beautiful wrapping, the package. January 6th, apart from anything else, leads directly to the war in Ukraine. Because it looks like America.
People, don't forget to turn your notifications on, subscribe to the channel, share it out, give a thumbs up.
Meeting with Russia's president.
Soon in Geneva, Vladimir Putin faced his old nemesis,
Biden.
the president of the United States.
The 46th president.
Biden and saying, this is a weak American president. He doesn't have the overwhelming support of his public. His people are so divided. Just months earlier, they had an attack on the Capitol. And all he needs to do is hold Biden off long enough so that he can continue to assemble the plan that he's putting together.
They're children of the Cold War, and they see each other and their countries through the Cold War. Biden saw Putin for what he is, a KGB revanchist who wants to remake the Russian Empire.
I just remember the body language of them sitting in that room together, and it's icy. I mean, these are two people who do not like each other.
Antony Blinken, now Secretary of State, was once again.
The tone of the conversation was professional. It was direct, but it was very clear where we had our differences. President Biden made very clear where we saw things differently, and so did President Putin.
Finally determined where we have mutual interests. A top priority for Biden, deterring Putin in Ukraine.
President Biden made the meeting to President Putin our commitment to Ukraine, our commitment to its sovereignty, to its independence, to its territorial integrity.
They wanted to park Putin, but he didn't want to be parked. He wanted to be the number one problem for everybody in the whole world. But especially the number one priority, the number one threat, number one problem that the White House was dealing with.
Putin began laying the groundwork for the invasion of Ukraine.
Laying the groundwork. Laying the groundwork for Ukraine. Getting ready. As the people ready to witness